Well, I do have a meeting at 1.
Okay,
with
well,
somebody
that's-
who's in the room, so I'm assuming we want to respect that, or not. Do we want to respect our 1 o'clock?
That'll be fine.
Okay.
I just 2 comments. The first one was dealing with, the overall cutting of the sports people and finance. I was, again, never brought into it. We had a conversation between administration, whoever that may be, on our campus or UWM, and Adam, and say, do we have a scenario here? What is your take? What could we do? If we would have went with the model of volleyball, men's basketball, and men and women's tennis, the scenario would have been both the same, whether it's Waukesha or here. As athletic directors, we would have took a cut in pay. We would have went to make things happen on our campus. We would have taken a cut in pay, but that was never an option given to us. Volleyball and tennis, I would have coached as part of my job. You don't hire a coach. The only thing I would have had to hire is a men's basketball coach. We could have really downsized, which I have for next year, and only played the conference games. We could have redone travel in a much different way to decrease that expenses. Waukesha, same scenario. Adam would have coached men's basketball and the tennis. He would have to hire a women's volleyball program. Again, he would have decreased the amount of travel that he'd have, or look at it in another way. Stephen made the scenario, well, the money would go back to student government then to do more of a Mayflower. That just contradicts what he was saying about the idea behind the money was to put it towards clubs or intramurals and healthy living, but he made the comment of, well, it'll just go back into your budget to allow you to do more like a May program.
I don't think it did. The money would be freed up for you guys to decide how you want to use it through health and wellness, through club sports, and what other activities are
And that
available
would have
to
been
you.
decided through SUPAC, correct?
Yep.
So it doesn't necessarily go straight into our, it doesn't go necessarily into the allocable portion.
It's not a 1-for-1.
It's not one for one. It would just continue to be available in the pot of segregated fees for SGA to make recommendations on where that would go.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Gentleman in the far left back. Yes.
My name is Tom Brigham, and I was the founding athletic director here at the campus in 1968. I was involved in the formation of the WCC. I was a faculty member. I went through all the hoops of assistant professor, associate professor, full professor, athletic director, department chair for 10 years, the campus steering chair for 10 years, a dean for 3.5 years, and a commissioner in the conference for 6 years. What I found out about this decision on a phone call from my son-in-law on an evening that I was sitting with my wife having a cocktail. He said, "What is going on?" I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "They're cutting out athletics." I said, "Who's cutting out what, where?" And he said, "Well, according to Facebook, they're gonna cut out athletics in next year." Didn't know a thing about it. My first reaction is, nobody even approached me, and Steve and I have been talking about this, for common professional decency to ask about what my thoughts were about it. Now, I've talked to the business manager, I've talked to the student services personnel about this. I'm going to be talking to Steve in about 4 minutes about this. But I think this process has gone haywire. According to university policy, if a decision is going to be made about seg fees, there should be consultation by the administration with the seg fee committee, that's you on this campus, to discuss the avenues. I know there's a deficit of $120,000 in seg fees between the two campuses. This campus is not as bad as the other campus, but it's there. I know you're going to have reduced enrollment. That's out there. Demographics show it. Number of students in high school show it. So adjustments have to be made. I know there was no decision or no discussion with the athletic directors, Debbie and Adam, about what are your ideas? how can you reduce your operating costs to make a viable program and continue with athletics on your campus? That did not happen. That did not happen with student government. The decision was made by Courtney, by Steve, and by Dan. This is our recommendation. We're gonna cut athletics for all the reasons that have been said. That was taken to UWM. The only person I know so far is a person by Kelly Hogg, I guess, who this was brought forth. I don't know what the steps were, but it was not handled right. And Steve, you have to agree with that. And you do too, Courtney. It was not handled correctly. Now you, as student government, you have the responsibility to make recommendations to the administration. I personally believe that a program can be devised on this campus and at Waukesha campus, a very modest program, but athletics will remain. Right now, sunset, it's dead, no more after next year. Steve, we have a meeting.
Sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.